Guys, welcome to my channel. We are talking about a makeup collaboration today. This is by, can we see it? Yeah, this is by BH Cosmetics and Carli Bybel. I think this is Carli Bybel's second collaboration with BH Cosmetics. I did not buy the first one, I think it was last year. It was also an eyeshadow palette with highlighters in it. So it was a grand success, the first collaboration, so I was really curious about the second one. So I went ahead and picked it up. I bought mine at Ulta online very recently. I did not pick it up when it launched on BH Cosmetics' website because I don't know. I just thought picking it up Ulta is much more safer for me than picking it up BH Cosmetics. I don't know, with respect to returns and stuff like that, in case I don't like it. So this is can we see it? Yeah, this is a deluxe edition, and then it says it has 21 color eyeshadow, and then it also has highlighters in it. Now the net weight is 30 grams. There is a lot of product here, and this retails for $22, $22.50 actually. And like I said, I picked mine up at Ulta. And then this is made in PRC, and this is a cruelty-free product. I don't know if BH Cosmetics as a brand itself is cruelty-free. I'm not sure, but this product is. What else? Yeah, and this doesn't come in a box. This is actually a sleeve. As you can see, there's the opening. It comes with a sleeve, and this is the actual product. And this is a cardboard packaging, which is really nice. It is actually pretty sturdy, and it does come with a mirror in it. And this is a product. I'm holding the palette upside down, so you have 3 rows of eyeshadows, and then you have all of these are highlighters, but I'm not sure why these 2 are in larger pans, in rectangular pans, and these 4 are in square pans. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe these 2 are universal shades. I'm not sure. Yeah, these 2 are very universal shades. So probably that's because they have they are being offered in larger quantities, and these 2 are like very definitely meant for fairer type skin tones, and these 2 are meant for medium to deeper skin tones. Probably that's why they are given in a smaller quantity, whereas these 2 are universal shades. So that's why they've given it in larger quantities. Then these are the eyeshadows that they give in circular pans. Now, as you can see, this is a completely neutral palette. It does come with a mirror, which is really nice, and it says aspire to inspire. That's probably her message from her to us. So let's do some swatches. Let's do the bottom row. Let me just start off from here, and then we'll work our way up. It doesn't have any names to this. This is like a very beautiful. Now I have to say this row is completely, this row is a completely peachy row, peachy caramel kind of a row, and then you have like a cool toned mauve kind of a row. The middle row, as you can see, there are cool tones and mauve shades. Then the bottom row is more of a bronze brown kind of a row. You have like a beautiful cool tone brown, and then like a very pale gold as well. So that's how they have broken down the color family in here. A coral, caramel kind of a row, and then you have a cool toned mauve kind of a row. Then here you have like a brown row, brown, bronze, gold row. So let's do some swatches. The first row, let me just start here. This is a very beautiful coral shade, and that is a metallic shade. And this has more of, let me just get rid of this watch. This is more of a peach and gold shade, which is very pretty and very, very pigmented, guys. And then this is, I don't want to blind you guys. Let me just watch as is. Then the second is also a metallic shade, shimmery shade, and this has more pink to it than the first shade. The first has more of a peach gold. It's lighter, and the second shade on my skin tone honestly doesn't really create a lot of difference. It just looked kind of a golden shade on my skin tone with a hint of peach in both, but probably on lighter skin tone it will really come through. And both shades are very, very pigmented. I did not have to build it up at all. And then you have, this is caramel kind of a shade, caramel brown, which is a matte. It's very, very pigmented, guys. These shades are so pigmented. And then you have another peach shade, which has actually, this is a duochrome. It has like a pink, and in the pan it doesn't look pink at all, but once it touches my skin, it kind of turns into a pink shade, pinky peachy shade. It doesn't have a lot of gold in it, I wouldn't say. It's more of a cool toned peach shade, and that is a metallic, and it's really, really good. And then finally, this is the shade. Finally, this is a matte. This is a very beige shade. Now I have to say, I'm very, very impressed with these light colored mattes. All of the light colored mattes for that matter, except for this. Maybe this kind of looks ashy, but all of the light colored mattes are really, really good, guys. They actually do not look ashy at all on my skin tone. I was so surprised, and I was really, really impressed. It beautifully blurs out the edges when you in the crease, and just above the crease where you would get like harsh lines. When you use these very light matte shades, it beautifully blurs out the harsh lines that you would get, and it doesn't look ashy at all. And it's not like it disappears when you blend it. I can see the product still on my skin, on the eyelids, but it still doesn't look ashy and beautifully blurs it out. I'm really impressed with the mattes. Then that is the first row. You have 3 shimmers. All 3 shimmers have coral tones to it, and then you have 2 mattes, which are beautiful and pigmented and so soft and buttery to the touch. Then let's do the mauve shade. This is a very deep burgundy purple kind of a mauve. As you can see, it is very dark in the pan, but on my skin tone it doesn't translate as so dark at all. Do you see it? It looks very like mid-tone, kind of a medium dark shade. It doesn't look good, dark, vampy at all. And I was a little bit disappointed because I was really expecting it to be really dark, but it doesn't look dark at all. It is dark, but it's not very, very dark. And it's not like the light is washing out at all. Even when I used it on my eyes, it didn't like really create a depth and dimension to the outer corner. I really had to go in with another deeper shade. Then the next shade is this metallic shade, which is like a very mid-tone gray mauve kind of a shade, which is metallic, and it's crazy pigmented. You did not have to build it up at all. And then, you know what, let me just swatch everything together. And then you have a mid-tone mauve shade, very beautiful pinky mauve. And then you have like a beige shade, but on the cool tone side, which is a matte. And finally, you have like a champagne shade actually, but it has like hints of mauve. So these are the second row from here. You have a dark mauve shade. I wouldn't call this dark, at least on my skin tone it doesn't look dark at all. It's not enough to create a dimension in the outer corner. I had to bring in another shade. So I wish it was more darker. And then this is a matte, but the quality of the mattes across the board is beautiful, guys. I'm so impressed with this. And then you have like a mid-tone lilac dirty mauve shade, which is very, very pretty, and it's very pigmented. Did not have to build it up at all. And then you have like a mid-tone medium kind of a mauve shade matte. Then you have like a beige shade, so also have mauve tones to it. Both are very pigmented. And then finally you have like a champagne mauve shade, which is again very, very pigmented as well. And finally, let's do the brown. Let's do it on this side. This is the darkest shade I was talking about. This is the only dark shade which was like dark enough to actually give me a depth and dimension to my eye look. This is a very cool toned brown. It's a matte shade and it's fantastic with respect to pigmentation. Then you have again like a copper, like very deep copper, not like an orange copper, but has like a brown copper, bronze copper. This very, very pigmented as well. And then you have like a brown shade, which is so pigmented, so creamy, guys. Matte shade. And then finally, this is like the pale gold that I was talking about. And the very palest, like a cream shade, as you can see, matte shade. And then you have like a pale gold. So those are the 3 final rows. So these are the eyeshadows here. Yeah. So my review on the eyeshadows alone, let me just quickly talk about that. I'm really impressed, guys. This is like high-end, high-quality eyeshadows, like the ones that you may find at Sephora for such a high price, hefty price tag. But these are so good. The metallics, I did not have to build up any of the metallics. They were like, I do have hyperpigmentation in the inner corner of my eyelid, so I really need some crazy pigmented shades to just cover that hyperpigmentation in just one coat, just one swipe. And all of these metallics delivered that. They do not need to build up at all. They are so pigmented and so beautiful. Now, none of these are actually foiled eyeshadows. They're just shimmers, but they're not soft shimmers. They are like medium metallic shimmers, but at the same time, they're not like crazy or like emollient and metallic. No, they're not like that. That you need to bear that in mind if you're really looking for those kind of metallic shades. These are not that. Now the mattes are, I'm so very impressed, guys. None of these lighter mattes. Now most of the mattes that you see here are not like deep, as you can see, at least for my skin tone. You see so many caramel shades and then so many like brown beige shades and mauve shades. Mostly these lighter matte shades are not usable for my skin tone. Sometimes they are too buttery that when you apply it in the skin, it just disappears. I don't see it at all. So it's kind of difficult for me to say whether the product is still on my eyelids or not sometimes. Example, Tarte's matte eyeshadows are sometimes like that. But sometimes the Urban Decay's, for just using as an example, but usually Urban Decay's lighter mattes like beige or kind of those kind of color family kind of a mattes, they just look very ashy and leave like a white cast on my skin tone, so it doesn't look good on my skin tone. But these, none of these mattes except for just the cream shade is too light for my skin tone. Even if I blend it out, you can definitely see like a white cast. But except with the exception of this cream color eyeshadow, all of the mattes actually work beautifully on my skin tone. They do not leave a white cast. In fact, they act beautifully as a blurring eyeshadow, guys, and as a transition shade. I'm just truly impressed with the quality of this. This is just high-end quality, guys, at such a great price. Next, let's move on to the highlighters. Now this is like a pale gold, and then you have like a rose gold. These are powder highlighters. They're very good. Now I have on my cheeks both these highlighters together, mixed in together. As you can see, they are pretty intense. So yeah, those two are that's the swatch. Now it looks like it's you can't see the the color, because it is like really pigmented, and these are like powder highlighters, so they are kind of blinding, so it's difficult to see the pigment. And then let's look at the other shades. This is just a white eyeshadow, and this looks pink, but when you apply it on your skin, it has a very strong purple tone to it. Now this is the white. White is crazy pigmented. Oh my god, it's crazy pigmented. And then the lilac, it looks pink, but it's actually, when you apply it on the skin, you can definitely see the lilac tones in it. These two do not look similar at all in the skin. The white and the purple ones, they actually look distinctly different. And then you have you know what, let me just swatch it properly. And then here you have this copper. Copper is definitely darker, not darker, it's just the same color of my skin. Then you do have like a gold. The difference between this gold and this gold, let me just show it to you. Difference between this gold and this gold is, this is a little bit darker, and this is definitely on the lighter side. So yeah, now these highlighters are powder highlighters, so these two highlighters do leave a white cast on my skin. So I don't think they are like brown skin friendly at all or dark skin friendly. These can be used only on, I think, very pale complexions. You could mix up these shades, but you really need to be careful as to the proportion of this shade and whichever the other shade that you use. So you probably should just pick up very little bit of this shade, just teensy bit, and then go in the other shade, the darker shade, and really pick up a lot of the darker shade, because this leaves a very distinct white cast on my skin tone. Both the white and the lavender shade, they are pretty highlighters, and none of these highlighters have any chunky glitters to them. They are very finely milled, and you can definitely tell that you are wearing some kind of a powder product here, because these are powder highlighters. They don't like melt into your skin or anything. That's just the nature of powder highlighters, but they just they don't look cakey. I don't feel that they accentuate fine lines that much. Definitely since they are highlighters, they do like pick up on textures, but not too much, guys. Not like bad looking at all. These, all in all, I think this is such a good product. It's not just good, guys. This is an excellent product, not just for the price or anything. These are excellent. This is an excellent palette, period. I'm not going to say good for the price, good for what it is or anything. This is a great palette. I think if this is sold at Sephora, I think they would be charging you so much, a lot. But this is such a great price. I think that is like a bargain. It is a steal, if you ask me. Such a great quality at such a good price. So, but the only downside I would say is just, this is just a matter of preference, because if you are someone who does not like neutral eyeshadows, I don't think you will ever use this palette, no matter how good the palette is. If you just don't like these colors, you're probably not going to use them. So you definitely need to think about that if you are someone who likes neutral eyeshadows. But these apply well. These are pigmented. I've been having this eyeshadow, this makeup on for what time is it now? It's almost 9. So I've been having this for 7 hours. 7 hours. So I did not this has not faded at all, which I'm really impressed with, because for example, Colourpop's pressed eyeshadows look beautiful when you really put it on initially, but after like 3 to 4 hours it looks completely faded, and that's why I've not been enthusiastic about purchasing Colourpop's pressed eyeshadows, because they fade so quickly and they just lose their vibrancy very soon. But I'm so happy and impressed that these do not look faded at all. They just look really good. Now, as you can see, this is like a soft look. This is probably what the kind of look you would get from this eyeshadow palette. So if you're looking for something very extra, this is not where it's at, because this is just it's a beautiful palette with an exceptional quality, but the color range is neutral family. So you're probably just going to get just looks like this. Today I have this coral shade, and then I have this mauve shade, and then this deep. I tried to use this at the outer corner, but it wasn't deep enough, so I ended up picking up this shade as well. So I have these two mauve shades, and then in the center of in the entire lid I have this coral shade. The outer corner I have this brown shade. That's what the brown shade is, what really gives you that boundary of the eyelid. That's what it is. So yeah, all in all, I think this is a really good palette. If you love neutral eyeshadows, please do pick it up. If you miss it, I think it would be a great loss if you miss this eyeshadow, and if you are a neutral color lover, because this is an exceptional quality for such a good price, guys. I think it's a steal. So if you like neutral eyeshadows, please do pick it up. I bought mine at Ulta. I think this is an Ulta exclusive, Oh no, it was initially launched on BH's website, so it's not an Ulta exclusive. So I think you can find it on BH Cosmetics website. So yeah, that's my review. I'm really happy with the palette. So I forgot to congratulate Carli on the on this collaboration, and the fact that she did what the fact that she did such an exceptional job in color selection and the formulation and everything. Not formulation, I think formula belongs to BH, but the color selection is beautiful. It's very universal and very, I think it complements all skin tones. Every skin tone definitely will definitely find something in this palette. And all in all, a big kudos and thumbs up to Carli for coming up with such a beautiful palette and doing such a great job. So yeah, that's it guys. I think we've come to the end of this video. I think we've touched upon everything. The performance of the highlighters are great. They're finely milled. The eyeshadows are beautiful. I'm really impressed with the color selection of the mattes and the way they perform and blur out all the all the harsh lines that you might get in your eyelid from the crease work that you do. And they do not look ashy, with the exception of this. This is too light for my skin tone. It has to look ashy. But besides this, none of the lighter matte shades look ashy at all. They are beautiful. They blend beautifully, and the metallics are good. They are pigmented. They do not need building up at all. Even on my hyperpigmented eyelids, just one swipe, it completely covers the hyperpigmentation. But if you're looking for very foiled and high shine metallics, these are not that. At the same time, they're not soft shimmers as well. They are just normal, good quality metallic eyeshadows. And the highlight is really good. But these two highlighters, it will leave a white cast on your skin tone if you have dark skin. So just stick with these four. But if you can definitely pick a little bit, teensy bit of this highlighter and pick up a lot of the darker shade. Don't pick them up 50-50. I think this is these two are very strong, potent highlighters. So if you really want to mix the highlighters up, pick a little bit of the paler shade and a lot of the darker shade. So yeah, that's my gist of review on this palette. And thank you so much guys for watching, and please give this video a thumbs up if you liked watching it, and please subscribe. Bye.